ways. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Probably. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. But think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes had the heart to lose their lives. I wanna live. And all I remember is thinking I wanna be like them. Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. If there's no coincidence, I've come. And I can die when I'm done. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe we're crazy. Probably.
GCUE.
The podcast you have been waiting for.
6 friends, 6 opinions, infinite laughs, all unfiltered.
This is that fire podcast, believe you me. It's the almighty intellect, CUE. 6 ballers on the court like a 3-on-3. And my whole team is MVP. We getting buckets, catching oops, step backs, jellies and threes. Real talk, no cap, better cop out brief. Put respect on a name when you talk about weed. But when you see us, you know what it's gonna be.
What up? Welcome and happy Friday. Welcome back to another episode of the GQ podcast. We rocking here live again on another Friday night. As y'all saw, our topic is going to be mental health in sports, finding out if it's really a mental health issue or if it's just a cop-out. Before we get started, we got some members of the Q that are missing. PJ, Boogs, Steve, and Eddie. Actually, 4 of them guys are gone. So, they're here with us in spirit. Not dead, but just not here today. But we got some.
Shout out to squad.
We got our guest with us. It's a sibling spouse kind of moment today. So before we start the introduction to everybody, we're going to start off with Bubs. You can go first.
Hey, welcome everybody. If it's your first time with us, we welcome you. If it's not your first time, we welcome you back. If you're watching this live on Facebook, make sure you hit the share button. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And it's going to be a special show, so I'm going to enjoy this, and you hope you enjoy it too.
All right. And next we got Vaughn. Some of y'all may know him as Micah. What up?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's going on?
That was very professional, profound. Then we got Monisa. What's going on, Mo?
Hi, I'm having tech issues, so if I leave, I promise I'll be back.
Maybe. And then we got last but not least, what's up, Nina?
What's up? Thank you for the opportunity to be able to be on the show and be able to express my views and opinions.
I don't even know who that is.
That was a Zoom interview.
I don't know who that was.
You like that, right?
That's that guest pastor approach. Thank y'all for opportunity to be here with y'all. We're in a pulpit. It's a beautiful day at First Baptist Church.
I don't even know who that person is.
Nah. But she got a red party cup though.
She do.
You know it's about to pop. All right. So as y'all know, as always, we got our quick hits. We got 4 of them today. We're gonna jump into the main topic. So we can do that. Let's go with this quick hit intro. So, the first quick hit it's real simple. It's been kind of all over the place everywhere. Dr. Dre is getting hit with some good old spousal support. So
you may call Nicole Young a few things, but what you won't call her is broke. The now ex-wife of super producer Dr. Dre has an order to receive over $3 million per year until she remarries, finds a life partner, or one of the parties die. After 24 years of marriage and 2 kids, they split up and are still in negotiations about the full solution of what this divorce looks like. Dr. Dre was recently quoted at being at about $800 million in net worth, which means the spousal support may actually increase. So while they're figuring this out, he does have to keep up with the payments. He's trying to get them to go down, but more than likely they're going to increase. But let's not forget, you got people like Jeff Bezos who paid out $35.6 billion in Amazon stocks and set his wife up with almost a net worth of $6 billion after their divorce of 25 years. Mary J. Blige had to pay her ex-husband after 12 years $30,000 a month for spousal support. Mel Gibson paid his ex-wife after 31 years $425 million in alimony and spousal support. And Jennifer Lopez paid Chris Judge $13 million after less than a year of being married just to make sure he didn't speak on what their marriage life was like. So, with all that said, do you need a prenup before you get married, or you just take your chances with divorce? Let's talk.
All right. So who want to go first on this one?
Yo, considering my hold up, considering my mate is on this episode and he gonna ask this question, I don't know if this is a setup or what I should say, but
there's no such thing as a setup.
It's a setup. It's a setup. It's definitely a setup.
Buck can say whatever he wants to say. Looking in his face though.
Listen. Would I get a prenup? Nah, I wouldn't get a prenup.
Fuck, you crazy.
I would. Shit.
See?
Right on, Miles. Right on.
Well, this is the thing, though. And I said some of it has to do with my age. Like, when I was 25, yeah. Now, like, I have retirement accounts. I have things that, like, I stand to inherit that I could possibly lose. So, absolutely, I would get a prenup. Because I've seen, like, there was a lady I knew who, she inherited a house while she was married. And she was making more than her husband because he hadn't worked in years. She wanted to get a divorce. He could go after her childhood home because she inherited it while they were married. Luckily, they had properties that they flipped, so she just gave them 2 properties, but still. So for me, it's more about like I don't want to give you my retirement money. I've been working for a long time. So, and I think sometimes women don't think about it, or people say, well, I'm not a millionaire, but you could still lose some things. So for me, it's like, listen, if I came in with this, I want to at least leave with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Also, you don't want to incur someone else's debt as well. That's not fair to you coming into that marriage, that if you're responsible for that person's debt.
Especially if they was out here doing dumb stuff and trying to be a rapper at 45.
Exactly.
Like,
It's not a 45-year-old rapper.
Right.
No. I mean,
45-year-old startup.
Listen,
Right.
I knew a couple like 33, 4, like, and I feel like you starting to age out if you're not already there.
I mean, for me, I got the kids, so I just think about like, you know what I mean? Like the kids may come along and need some extra shit. So that's where I'm coming from with it. But now that I see that she's that way, oh yeah, I already know. You know what I mean?
Lifestyle change.
That whole thing, prenup. You know what I mean? Prenup. You know what I mean? Look, even if I got 12 hours, she ain't getting none of that.
I think it really matters, depending on what you have going into the marriage. You know what I mean? So if you have a lot of things, if you have some financial wealth, or you own a business, or you own several properties, I think it's wise to make that decision to get a prenup. But if you're entering into a marriage and neither one of you have anything, then I could understand why individuals would opt not to receive one or go after one.
Yeah, I think prenups they're smart for people who have something to lose. Like if you don't really have anything to lose, then no. But my thought on marriage period is if it doesn't work, you should be. I want nothing else from you after that. Like I don't want no ties. Like you go your way, I go my way. So I think a prenup is smart in the beginning. You just leave it what you came with. Whatever you build together, split it in half. We built this together. That's yours. That's mine. Cool. Have a great life.
I think it's smart too.
My stuff coming in, you can't have my stuff.
I think it's smart too because we love each other coming in, but when you going, you hate that motherfucker and you want to make that motherfucker burn. Therefore, and I'm not saying it's true, but when you think about when you think about divorce, like
we don't got a bleep button.
Because I've seen really nasty divorces where there's like, like they was all love, forever, and then soon as they ain't like each other, fuck them. So, and that's what it is. So I feel like if you got stuff set in place, even with all the emotion, even with all the anger, it's like, listen, this is what we did. That's it. Now, prenups can be contested. However, you at least have a bottom line and you have a skeleton to work with.
And we grew up in the same house. That's how we really talk.
Well, my outlook on it is basically, if y'all in it to build together, it should not be a prenup. So basically, if you come into it and but like if both people working, like if somebody just slacking off, then okay, now you got to make sure that you end with the wrong person. So you married the wrong person. But you got to come in with it. No, it's not really too late at that time.
You in it now. So
because you don't have nothing at this time. You're not there either. So if you don't
say
have
5 years in,
nothing,
I'm sorry,
but you're not. Yeah, all right, but everybody, like, I'm not there in 5 years. You're not making no money in no business. You're not making no money in anything at that time.
You never know.
What if you could? What if say you start your business, right?
Okay, and what business? What are we talking?
It could be anything. I mean,
it changes.
Let's say you make pickles.
No, but Dr. Dre was destined. He was destined for something different. He was destined way different.
You make pickles. You sell pickles at the market, right? And then one day, when you selling pickles at the market, you're making say like 17,000, 18,000 every half year, right? 17,000, 18,000. Somebody from Whole Foods come and go, yo, this is a dope fucking pickle. I want your pickles in all my Whole Foods. Now you have a $14 million pickle contract. Meanwhile, the person you with ain't picked out a cucumber. They ain't made no pickle juice. Ain't put no pepper. Nothing. Ain't bought a jar, mason jar, nothing. Now they're entitled to $14 million a year money.
Hey, that's
so
your
half
fault,
of that is now theirs.
That's your fault.
You ain't signed no prenup. I signed one.
That's your fault though. You should have seen, like, you could tell somebody's hustle when you first start messing with them. When y'all first get together, you can tell if they got a hustle or not. So if you just sit there and look,
not necessarily. You could be in the blind.
If you look,
people get comfortable in the first couple years,
huh?
People get comfortable in the first couple years.
No, you can still see. Oh my man, damn, you calling off again? Like, oh, you're not going with the day either. You lost that job again. Like, you see that?
No, but yo, we doing this pickle thing, right? So we make you make the pickles. I'll come to the Broad Street Market, right? I come to the Broad Street Market in Louboutin shoes. Right? I'm already shopping. I'm already spending the 12,000 that you're getting. So now
not
you get
doing
that
nothing,
14
right?
million. Nah, I'm here. I've shown
So
up.
what are you doing? What are you
Nah,
doing?
but the court doesn't care. You're married now.
I understand. That's what I said. It's that part becomes your fault. So you got to take that L because you was blind
I'm
to
not
the
taking
fact
no
that
L's.
you. I mean, okay, then you're not gonna take an L. But so you just gonna go right to it with a prenup?
Yes.
So basically, date one.
Prenups.
Yo, I'm doing. I believe in prenups. Is what you saying? Date one, and let that be not known on the table.
Prenups are a conversation before engagements. So before you propose, a prenup is a conversation.
No, it should be a conversation before dating.
Before dating?
No.
You might
No,
have
I
made
might
it to the
even not
third
even
day.
like you. So what's the point of having that conversation?
But, nah,
like in 3 weeks, I might get rid of your ass.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but I'm saying like that right there, like date one, that is not wasting your time. You done wasted 3 weeks already.
3 weeks to 3 years.
Or none. How about that?
Say everybody can say I don't have a problem with a prenup while dating, and then when it comes to getting married, you actually have to sign it. It's a different story. So then it's like I'm not signing that.
That's what happened with Steven Jackson. Remember, he was about to get married, and she went and signed the prenup, and he left her at the altar. Him and Stephon Marbury, and then went all out to Vegas and still.
How many people gonna leave somebody at the altar?
Well, if I got
who will leave a whole family at the altar?
Listen, if I got deep NBA pockets, I would do that too. I ain't gonna hold you, like, you know what I mean? Because she told him she was going to sign it, and then even when she brought it to her the hour before the wedding, she said, "Well, no, let me look over it again, think about it." Then you like Vaughn said though, but also you already know her intentions at that point. You know what I mean? Regardless, if you got the kids, because I'm going to take care of the kids. But you know, if you already like that.
But I feel like also that should have been signed. Like if you're trying to sign it at the wedding, like I feel like that would have been a red flag for me too.
Yeah, you can't just bring it up, pop it up on someone like sign this. Like hell no, I ain't signing it.
Right.
Bye.
Let's see what you hitting for.
Yo, but all right. So in perspective, Dr. Dre and his wife was married for 24 years, which puts him back to 96. Dr. Dre hit what, like 92, 93 with the Chronic? So it's like you're 4 years in.
Dre. She met him as Dr. Dre at Death Row. She didn't meet him as Dr. Dre of NWA. She met him with a little something in his pocket.
So he had a little bit of whatever.
Yeah, that's his fault. I don't care. At that point, that's his fault.
Why?
That's his fault.
For not getting
because I'm coming in with millions now. I'm coming in I'm coming in as the dopest producer in the game right now. So now,
but
my name is huge. My name is huge. I'm huge when it comes into this game right now.
But we had this conversation. Dre also coming in as a trash father, a woman beater. He's a cheater. And he has like a whole affiliation that might put your life in danger. And you say sign a prenup. For what? My life's in danger just being around you.
So you said it's his karma.
So
it's karma.
No, it's definitely karma. So he earned every bit of that prenup.
So basically, he came to the table. He came to the table like, okay, I got so much baggage with me. I'm not gonna make you sign the prenup. Is what you saying?
Nah, I think he came to the table and he knew that more than likely, if he had her sign one, she probably wouldn't have done it.
So then right now he knew he was going to have to pay what he got to pay out right now.
No, because people that don't sign prenups, they think they're going to be together forever.
Forever, yeah. But I would
I'm sure Jeff Bezos never in his life thought he would have to give somebody $60 billion.
Nah, Shad, I disagree with that. Because with Jeff Bezos, right, once he became a billionaire, he already knew he was setting up to have a whole bunch of side joints. You see what happened with Bill Gates, the reason that he separated from his wife, because he already had it in his marriage arranged that he could take his side joint once a year on a trip. So once you start once you start leaving the M's and going to the B's, you already know that wife that you had for that long time. Once you leave the millions and start going to the billions, you already know that this ain't gonna do it for you no more because you're gonna start eating different stuff. Like these dudes were
Bill Gates?
Huh?
Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos he has a horrible like stripper call girl issue. Mo?
Yeah, he had a
So it was Mo's phone making Fraggle Rock sounds.
Yeah, pop rocks.
But not. It's like you. I think you have to be smart about the situation. Marriage is a contract. It's a legal document. Everything outside of that is your relationship the way that it was. Now everything goes legal. Once it goes legal, then I think a prenup is a part of that legality. So you say, okay, cool. If this doesn't work, and nobody wants to say it's not going to work because you're about to get married, but you have to be realistic. 50% of marriages end in divorce. So if this doesn't work, I feel that it's fair that we both leave out with what we came in with. Whatever we earn together, we split. You shouldn't have entitlement to someone else's inheritance. You know what I mean? Like, that's not yours. You didn't do anything to get that. So there's no reason that you should have that involvement in that relationship. Take what you came in with and then divide what you did together. Period.
But you can't say that.
Great dividing what they did together.
That's what I'm saying. So there's not. It's one-sided.
How is it one-sided? If you
What does she do?
If you come in, it don't matter what she does. If you came to a marriage, and I'm telling you, like, spousal support is literally that. Once you advance someone's lifestyle, you now have to keep up that lifestyle for that person.
Yeah.
So since you want to be a billionaire,
but
you want to be a billionaire,
that's where I think that a lot of people mess up with. It becomes all me, instead of building for us. Because like he made so much money, he could have put her own product, had her push whatever she had to do, and make some money herself. So now, or he was Dr. Dre and was like, "Yo, you're not doing none of this. I don't want you to have any kind that's
of
the problem. At that point right there, then you have no choice but to pay out because you're the one that's doing this. This is your fault.
But here's the thing: everybody forgets cardinal rule number 1: shit always changes once money's in the hand. You know what I mean? Like once money's in hand, it's always changes. You know what I mean? Like it's a different thing. Period. So it is what it is.
Sign a prenup. Save yourself some stress.
Even if you're poor, sign the prenup.
Because you don't. That's the thing. Even if you're poor, you don't know what you have. You don't know what's coming to you. Like you can have a rich uncle somewhere that's about to just drop you some money, and now that deadbeat you trying to divorce is about to be like, "Yo, I'm taking you for everything you got." And that's the line. That's the line. If we get divorced, I'm gonna take you for everything you got. Everybody's heard that. So I haven't because I ain't married. Ain't gonna happen. Prenup.
What we got next?
Next, we got dirty people.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher revealed that they don't believe in bathing their 6-year-old daughter Wyatt and 4-year-old son Dimitri with soap every day. The subject came up on a recent episode of the Armchair Expert podcast when co-hosts Dax Shepard and Monica Padman discussed how frequently they shower. Shepard insisted that Padman, quote, should not be getting rid of the natural oil on your skin with a bar of soap every day, and instead just use water. Kunis and Kutcher agreed.
I didn't have hot water growing up as a child, so I didn't shower very much anyway. But when I had children, I also didn't wash them every day. Like, I wasn't the parent that bathed my newborns ever.
Now, here's the thing. If you can see the dirt on them, clean them. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no point.
According to the Mayo Clinic, bathing babies too much with soap can dry out their skin, while the American Academy of Dermatology Association says on its website that kids ages 6 to 11 may not need a daily bath, but should at least wash once or twice a week. And as for their own showering habits, Kunis and Kutcher both said they refrain from using soap on their entire bodies every day, but agree on the importance of regularly washing their faces.
I will say, when I work out, I have a tendency to throw some water on my face after a workout just to get all the salts and the whatever.
I wash twice a day.
Yeah, you gotta wash your face.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if you need to wash your face.
Dax, that's too much. That's too much. You wash your face.
So
these motherfuckers is dirty as shit.
Yeah.
Bottom line. It's all about how you was raised. Your parents taught you that bullshit. Now you carrying that bullshit to teach your dirty ass kids in the same technique.
Yo,
Damn shame.
the crazy thing is, is that Mila Kunis said she grew up poor where she didn't have hot water. So that's why she learned that shit. You know what I mean?
Yo,
like,
cuz no, I'm not buying that. All of us have been in a
no,
situation where we didn't have hot water.
Yo,
we've all been there. At some point, you go to
wash your whole body.
You get to a sink and you whole bath. Like you figure it out. If you gotta put some water on the stove and figure it out, you do it. That's some dirty people stuff. I have bathed from a pot in a tub by itself, and you figure it out. If you got a cold rinse, you do that. Like it's just no. I'm not buying it unless you don't have water.
And I feel like with Ashton Kutcher though, like the way he described it, oh well, we just rinse off everyone. Like they're not even taking a proper whole bath. Like
no, that's not a whole bath.
Hold up. What is a whole bath, Mo? Why don't you elaborate a little bit? Like
a little bit.
I don't even know what that is. Like
you don't know what the whole bath is, but
hey, first of all, my sister.
All right, I'm sorry.
You've been out having a little.
You walk all the possible places that could be lit.
Somebody's house, and you get the essentials. You get the important parts, and you get them well. But that's a whole.
Oh, but I didn't know, sister.
Did I describe that correctly, Sean? Because I feel like
you described this very correctly. I don't just do essentials though. If I got a whole bathroom, it's a whole body. It's just in the sink.
You gotta wash your arms and legs.
Because I'm sure everybody stayed at somebody's house and like they shower and the tub just made dirty. So it's like I'm not stepping in that. I'd rather wash at your bathroom sink because I'm not getting in that. I'll get a full lather at the sink. Enough to hold you over till you get home, and I will never go to your house again.
Well, you should be able to get it.
I got some aunts and uncles. They know who they are.
Yo,
God bless you.
Y'all petty, y'all petty.
God
I experienced that shit when I was in college. I went to somebody's house on a break. It's like, oh, come visit with me, and I'm like, okay, absolutely. I go there. I was scared as fuck to get in that tub. You hear me?
I'm not getting there. Yo, and here's the thing. If you're not washing your ass every day, you're not washing your chicken. I'm not eating at your house either. Like you don't bathe. You're not washing your food off. You don't bathe your ass. You're not pulling feathers out of chicken. I don't trust you. Period.
Well, even if they was washing their chicken, would you trust that they wouldn't have dirt on their hands because they ain't taking no bath? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
they wash their hands.
Nah, they don't even wash their face.
Water on their face.
He said, I don't think I have to wash my face every day. That's some stuff.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
What?
I having a mic problem. I said
So let's get this. Let's put this out here though. The proper amount of daily bath, showers, wash ups is what?
2.
I'm saying twice a day.
2.
It'd be nice to do it twice a day, but I know sometimes in all reality it's not feasible.
Yeah,
sometimes it's only once a day.
You might be rushing in the morning. You can't jump in the shower in the morning, but you wash that night before you got in bed. So you still bed clean. That's cool. You can leave out the house bed clean. They might be bed clean, go out into the world, come back, get back in bed, and then go out into the world again, and then come back in the house. You stink. You musty. Ain't no grown person able to not take a shower every day. It's not working. You got your little musty ass 11-year-old kids walking around.
Yo, them kids ain't
11-year-olds stink.
Yo, them kids is like 5 and 6.
Oh my god,
them little kids stink. Like around the back of their necks.
Literally, I was at the gym last week, and in the basketball gym at the Y, it was literally 4 boys. They looked like they were between 11 and 13, and it smelled like 37 grown men in that gym.
It's musty.
Yo,
and
like
that's that age.
The I'm thinking they stink.
No,
they stink.
That's the age where you go and you out.
Well, they're not worried about stink. They just have to see the dirt on you. They said so. Once, like,
if I don't see the dirt on you,
so if you don't if you don't look like you stink, you know what I mean. Like if you don't look like you dirty, then you don't need to take no bath.
That's a white people comment.
Well, they said they wash. They said they wash their hands all the time. That's what they said. They said wash their hands all the time.
When they walk outside with no shoes on, the bottom of their feet be black.
I can relate to that because I do that sometimes.
Your country,
but I don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere but to my car. Come back.
That's what I'm saying. But you still take a shower at night. You don't get in bed with like dirty feet. Like it's different. It's different. Now you talking about you don't wash the kids because the natural oils in their body gonna go away. That's what lotion for.
The natural juices and berries. They don't even use lotion.
Get some baby wash. There's ways around this. Little kids stink too. Now they got the little, get kids like little green poop and like it spreads. And now you just wipe their butt and put them back in the diaper and you ain't give them no bath at night. That's nasty. That's my grandma used to say, you smell like outside. And if you came in the house smelling like outside, you got to go take a bath.
Well, that's a black legacy thing. Like we passed that shit down. I said it to my kids. They looked at me like, "What the hell is he talking about?" I said, "You smell like outside." That's some old
smell like outside.
Stuff. Yeah, but what does that smell like?
That's
my dad. My dad got
sweat and dirt.
The polecat.
It's like a polecat. You smell like sweat and dirt.
That's what Callaway used to say.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's summertime and they walk around, because they sweat. You always see like the back of their hair is wet and stuck to the back of their neck. And now you ain't gonna take no shower after that.
Nope. You don't see the dirt.
Or they get in the shower and don't wash their legs. They only wash the top half.
But as an adult, cool. Have fun. You doing that with your kids, and now your kids walking around in school dirty and smelling like ass. And now what happens? They get to school with us and we busting on them. Now we getting called bullies because your kids stink.
That's true.
You stink. You smell like Pissy Jason.
Pissy Jason, Mattress Jason. Yo, but they rich. See, they rich. That's what they think too. They probably just put body wash on. Smell like pissy body wash.
With people with money.
No, and what they say, oh, you have a musk to you. That's not a musk. That's filth. You smell like ass. You stink.
You stink. Scent of an anus.
Should not even smell you walking into a room. Like no. Ashton?
So can we all agree that this poor hygiene is passed down from your parents?
Oh, it's passed
majority of the time. It's passed down. Because what are these kids going to do when they grow up? They're going to say, "Oh, my mom only gave us a bath twice a week. I'm only going to give my infant a bath once a week."
They become hippies. They say they're conserving water and saving the planet.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all.
And then, so on Twitter, somebody was talking about it. Well, they were like, "Well, their skin gets dry," and everybody was like, "Yo, you put lotion on them."
Lotion. Find some baby oil. Find something. There's ways around this. Dove has a whole commercial.
And Bubba will tell you, I've had sensitive skin from the time I came out the womb. Guess what? They were still washing me, and they were still lotioning me. Like I used to break out with anything.
Black parents do not care about your sensitive skin. You stink.
No, they don't. They don't care about skin or allergies. Nah.
Said, put some baby oil in your bathroom.
Well, this peanut butter I paid for.
Yeah, that's true. Like, yo, the thing is that like it's just funny that it's public knowledge and kind of like the thing is that there was a lot of kickback from black people. But when you watch white people like talk about it, it wasn't that far off for them. Like a lot of them was like, "Oh, I feel the same way. Oh, we have certain bath days. We don't wash we don't wash our legs." So it was odd to me to see the amount of people who agreed with them or did stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was like, what? Like,
and then when they say that makes sense. That makes sense. Now I understand.
The pandemic makes sense, Mo, because people was looking crazy, but now like to be out because they're saying they're doing it. They say they're doing it just to do it. Like he's saying, "Yo, I might splash water on my face after I work out." So forget your underarms, forget your balls.
He got musty balls.
Right.
And then he goes home and takes off the musty wet underwear, puts on clean underwear, walks back out the house as if nothing happened. It makes sense. That's why I don't like standing behind people at the grocery store.
What?
Yo, with the funky walk by air shot, I know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yo, that walk
you
by
know who
air,
they are.
That walk by air is different. When you got that musky walk by air, that shit's something different. Like
yesterday at Woodman, yo, that shit was not fun.
Yo, it make
I can taste that.
It make you feel like you gotta throw up. Like bad walk by air is like it make you want to throw up.
God. Yo, it makes you check yourself.
In the women's in the women's bathroom, sometimes it be a leave behind area in the women's bathroom sometimes too. Nina tell you.
Oh my
Nina, you
God,
know
you
what
get a
I'm talking
nasty
about.
whiff.
No,
Yeah, it's
as
bad.
a male, it follows out of the
Yo,
bathroom. It don't stay there. It comes with you.
That's
We
funny.
call it. That's nasty. That's some nasty women stuff.
What we got next? He said the nasty one.
Women.
So we all
right.
agree 2 times the wash at least a day, at least once a minimum.
Well, once in a
Minimum.
while,
it's a
you wash up,
pandemic.
at
Dip
least.
yourself in
It
bleach.
depends on your activity level too. If you ain't did shit all day, one's okay. But if you was out working out, nah, you better take 2.
No, if you
Nah,
sitting
because
on
that's what I'm saying.
if you sitting around all day, you still gonna stink.
That's what I'm
But
saying. You
not as
smell like
bad
you've
as if
been.
you was outside running. No.
No, if you but no, true. But you can
Sweating all day,
y'all
back
y'all
itch
don't
got
walk
stuck
up
in your hands.
y'all done walked up on somebody who sat in the house all day and you like you smell like you just been sitting around all day.
Yeah.
Like
you
you
have a
smell like
sit
you've been
around
just
smell.
sitting here.
You smell like eye
Sit around
boogies. You smell
smell.
like eye
Just-
boogies and arm funk. Like, get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Damn, you stink.
yeah.
When stuff don't correlate, like, ooh, you stink. Go brush your hair. Like, that ain't gonna fix it.
Go splash some water on your face.
Something.
Oh man.
All right, so y'all want to touch on these movies coming out? I don't got stuff for that. Ain't no visuals for the movies. Y'all got Will Smith playing Serena Williams and Venus Williams' dad.
King Richard, I think it's dope. Like, I think it's good to put out another positive black man story because, like, everybody forgets, like, they're so far into their greatness that people kind of forget what they, in order for them to get there, the shield that they had, and it was their dad, you know? So, like,
yeah.
he took a lot of that. They used to call that man crazy and, you know, used to talk bad about him. And then when they used to talk about them grunting or their bees coming off, the first one there was their dad. So in a society where they're always ready to beat down a man, I applaud the fact that they're putting out a positive image of what they really grew up with. And they grew up in Compton. He didn't have any knowledge of how to play tennis, but he taught them, and they're both considered the greatest. Ironically, he was so ahead of his time with it that he said, when Venus started popping, he said, nah, Serena's gonna be the one. They were like, what? Venus is already thinking. He said, yeah, I know what I know. And now that he's like, wherever he's at, like, whatever ailment he's dealing with, I just love the fact that they're giving him his flowers because they don't try to do that to people. So I wish Samuel L. Jackson was playing him instead of Will, but
can you can't take Samuel L. Jackson real like a drama role.
Yo, him playing their dad, him playing their dad. Yeah. And, yo,
That would be real.
Sam done been a Jedi.
I said hit the motherfucking ball.
Right. Yeah.
That might be an actual quote.
That's a
Right.
That would be the real deal. That's how it really happened.
But like, who else could have played him though? Like outside of only person I can think of it would like because I'm thinking of like physically like Idris Elba or like Coleman Domingo. Like those are the only 2 I can think of.
Yo, Delroy Lingo can't play nobody because he has an age. He's part
Idris
vampire.
Elba
Whatever he is, like.
Yeah, he's. But not even him. It's just he got that thing where he just so. And he makes like that face, and his face is long, and I don't want to see him. What about the dude from 12 Years a Slave?
Who, the one that was
Chiwetel
like,
Ejiofor?
Ooh,
I can't do that name. I can't do that.
Okay.
He was
He's a good actor.
No, that's because Mo Shop's black. Like she can say these names. When you shop black, you can get them out.
I was. Oh
It's
yeah,
okay.
my shirt. See, you got McDonald's money, right? But no, but also my name is Monisa. Of course, I can pronounce a unique name.
That's beyond
But,
unique.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I think it's a dope movie for like
I
a
don't know
really
about
good backstory.
him though.
Backstory
What my
about
name?
what?
I think
No.
I think the backstory just the backstory of Venus and Serena, but then again showing like their dad's involvement in making their opportunity for them, because we get hit with situations like that, and people they don't want to allow us into spaces, or like there's always like a money issue, and you don't have the money to go and do these things other people do. For instance, the gymnastics situation. It's just expensive. Right. So it's like when you can't do it, there's kids galore that we've seen growing up who can flip down the street and off of mattresses and do all this backflip, handstands, all that. But you don't have the money to go to gymnastics school. So it's like what it's showing is like he took the resources that he had, and I'm going to develop you. And then when you're developed, I'll put you in front of these people, and they're going to be like, "Damn."
And to
how'd
touch
you
on
do that?
And to touch on that simple fact, shot is like it just also shows how when they were coming out, how they were not accepting of them. Now they want to give them their flowers and they praise them. But let's not forget how y'all treated them. Like same thing with Tiger. Like when they came out, like we as the black community pushed, and we loved the fact that it was a black man that was just standing up, taking all the shots for his girls. He was there at all their things until it was time. So to be able to celebrate this father, you know what I mean? Like a father that was there and went through all the rigors. Come on, you gotta give him his credit.
I remember them trying to make them take the beads out of their hair because they said it was distracting the other players from across the court.
And some came loose a couple times. You know what I mean? Still was shit, like, and they just didn't understand the culture. And their dad wasn't having it. And that's what I said. Like, and that's why I said, like, you gotta show positive, strong black men, no matter what they tell you. Because even in the snippet, they show where he says, like, the world never loved Richard Williams, but it's go, respect y'all or whatever. And that's the mindset of a parent. And also, like the love, like Vaughn, we got kids too. Like, you got kids in sports that's in high school, like when you pushing through, it's a different level. And then and to be a black man on top of it. And then, like you said, and to push him through Compton, he pushed him through Compton, man. Like, come on. Like,
I feel like I love Will. I love Will Smith's movies. I think he does a phenomenal job in the movies that he does. I just feel like he's always the one portraying someone that's a real life person. And it's kind of hard now watching this and not thinking Pursuit of Happiness or Bagger Vance or Ali or something. It's like it's hard to now watch him and not see Will Smith as their dad. And the only person there's people that can do it, but I think it would have been great to find someone who doesn't have that reputation in that face that could have stepped in that role and blinded you by who you're looking at instead of now critiquing Will playing their dad. I think that's going to be the disadvantage of it.
But see, I think that's the wave right now, because like I was saying before to Nina on occasion, like if you notice, Tom Hanks has been doing the same thing. Scully, Captain Phillips, Mr. Rogers.
But he looks like them.
I mean, but that's the thing, Sha. But he's still
they all kind of look alike.
But I'm stuck on the fact that it's Tom Hanks, and that's the role that he's getting into. Like you said, like that's why I said I'd rather see Samuel Jackson, because I think he could pull it off because his natural aggression and because Samuel can play all kinds of good.
I honestly think Samuel will pull that off. Like you talk about a sports dad, like really, like sports dad is not coming off calm, collective. Like it's times out there
they're not meek or mild or quiet.
Mo
says the sports dad.
It's times that the dad is going to be like just straight yelling at the kid. Samuel L. Jackson does that on a regular basis. So like
they should
tell him to hit the ball or make sure you gotta hit it this way. Like that I can see Samuel L. Jackson doing that more than I can see Will Smith.
Right. Like Will's a little more passive for my liking. Like, you know what I mean? Like Samuel's way more versatile. He's been a Jedi, he's been Nick Fury, he's been in Jackie Brown. He said, yo, Samuel L. Jackson's so cool when he said, 'cause I'm a crack kid. We lost it. Like, you know what I mean? Like he said, in Jungle Fever, when he hit his dad with the dance before he got shot, you even laughed as Gator. He said, Dad, I got a new dance for you. Like, that's how versatile and dope he is. Like, you know what I mean? So I thought he could have pulled it off a lot more because his aggression always seems sincere, but his subtlety seems sincere too. Like,
what about Leon?
No.
Now that's the most typecast dude ever.
Ain't nobody coming to see him, Otis.
Right. There you go. That's always been your rap. I'm JT of the 5 Heartbeats. Exactly. Don't nobody think of Leon outside of
I'm just I don't know.
Forget about it.
I hope it'd be great. I hope it'd be great. Yeah, It has great potential. I know a lot of people are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's the dope part.
It's still gonna be a good movie. I think it's still gonna be.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's the Will Smith movie and co-stars.
Yeah.
Hold on, we got the other movies. What's the other movies we got?
Oh, you got the Emmett Till movie with Whoopi Goldberg. Is she playing Mamie Till, or is she just executive producer of the movie?
She's playing the grandma.
Okay. She looks very momish.
We knew, yes.
Yeah, she's in that role. That's her role now, grandma.
She's been very settling as that old face Negro. She has a very Negro soul spirit face.
Knock it off. Knock it off. You just met.
No.
She just doesn't have any eyebrows. That's the problem. If she painted some eyebrows on, she would look completely different. Like, seriously. I love Whoopi. But she needs to paint some eyebrows on. Damn. That's the only problem.
Yo, but you can't tell if she's upset or not because they don't go down.
Oh my God.
There's no shock. Like, it's nothing.
You can see it when
maybe they'll paint them on for the movie
to see the change of emotion.
Yeah.
By the nose.
Y'all crazy.
Yeah, like that's how you can see it. It's like in here. Like, you know how Kerry Washington, you can see it in her upper lip, in her mouth?
But her mouth always does that. Like, she be happy and still does that. Like, you never know with her. She has the greatest, like, cry face ever. And, like, the walk away mad walk is hilarious. It's just, it looks like something's falling out.
You will not disrespect Viola Davis like that.
I was talking about Kerry. I wasn't talking about Viola.
That's what I'm saying. No, Viola Davis wins in the cry face. Who else is not?
No, Viola Davis wins in cry snot. There's difference. Everyone else like has to figure out how to make a tear drop down. Viola Davis brings snot with her cry. Like her shit, like it makes you cry on your own because it's like that gotta be real.
Y'all crazy.
Jesus, how to get away with murder.
But before we get this, hold up. Can we get to the thing that we really want to discuss? Why in the hell does LeBron James think that he can reboot House Party? And then he's going to do it with Emmett from The Chi. What do y'all think about that?
House
Party do the Kid and Play.
Well, no, the thing is, I feel
Kid and Play can't do the Kid and Play no more.
It has what?
You're right.
5, 6 house parties already.
How you get to 6?
I think it's only been 3.
The bootlegs.
There was 3 that came out, but then there was a 4th one that had immature, and the bull from Everybody Hates Chris, the boy that played Drew. That's the direct to BET one.
So that's LeBron, right?
Now that was 4. The first 3 had Kid and Play in it. House Party 1, second one the Pajama Jimmy Jam, the third one's the one that had TLC and Immature as Kids.
Immature, yeah.
Yeah.
So then Immature came back and did their own.
Yeah, but then okay, so I'm at number 5. It'd be number 5. So really,
no, he's supposed to be restarting the whole series. Like he's gonna have more. PJ just said blasphemous. He's on the thread said like you can't remake House Party. It's a classic. Like they vibe. The vibe was different. Like what kind of?
My question is, what the fuck? Where is the setting going to be? Because do people even have house parties? It's gonna be a damn hotel and shit.
A hotel.
Got a ballroom. Where is it going to take place? Like this is crazy to me. It's not going to be someone's living room.
It's not a living room.
It's not a living room.
Well, and I think some of it, like I'm just thinking about the casting overall. Like who would play Sydney and Shireen? Like who can dance like them nowadays? Only girl I can think of is like Tiana Taylor.
And she's not gonna make it through the movie.
I mean, I think the whole story just was dope.
I like her.
The whole first House Party was dope. Like it was just regular stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Kids in high school. We go have a party at the crib. My parents out of town. People sneaking over the crib.
Them bullies were not kids. They was grown men.
Yeah, they was in black schools. We all went to school with people that was in. Yo, how many people have you found out now that are 4 years older than you that was in your grade? I'll wait because we're in Harrisburg school, so we gonna tell the truth. As a couple of people, I was like, I see on Facebook, they be like, "Happy 44th birthday." I was like, "Damn, nigga, I just turned 41." Like, we was in the same 3rd grade class. Like, what? So that's real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's real life. We know that's the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, stop acting like that, Mo. Like, When you go to black schools, that's what it really is hitting for. People that's really 21. Like we had, remember at our proms, we really would have people that was grown men with goatees driving cars that was theirs for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That is true.
That don't make it better though.
Well, and this is the thing. I will say,
this makes it realistic. Shireen really lived in the projects.
I will say, you can be in school in Pennsylvania until you're 21, so that makes sense. Like legally, you're allowed to be there until you're 21. So.
Yeah, I think it's just
Sorry,
a terrible thought by LeBron. Like he's doing too much with trying to keep remaking movies. Like, all right, you got along with Space Jam, but leave House Party alone. Like you go tarnish your legacy.
I just want to see what the new twist is going to be because he's going to make it relevant for the kids today. So I wanted to see what the twist is going to be.
It's going to be some LA party kickback.
But what do teenagers even do today? Like, how do they?
His kids.
Like, how do they operate? Like,
Super 316 shit.
They have cell phones.
It's gonna be his
unrealistic
like they
good
have
stuff. Like, okay.
I mean, like, so they got cell phones now.
That's all they gonna do. They gonna hold the cell phone, and go, bro. They ain't gonna dance at the party or nothing. Or they go, yo, bro. That's all these teenagers do.
No cap.
Sit there with something. No cap. They sit there with the duck feet, and be like, bro. Yo, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. That's what will be. They ain't gonna battle dance or nothing. Like that was the highlight of the house party shit when they got in there and started dancing. Like, come on, man. It's gonna be terrible.
It's gonna be. It's Chris Brown gonna pop up. They gotta get Chris Brown because it's period.
Probably that makes sense. To do some dance moves in there.
How about 40 though, man?
Nah.
How you gonna
It's
bring
probably like a
Chris
concert.
Brown? All you gotta do is he's just gonna dye his hair blonde, fresh, and then he's 12.
Nah, Chris Brown
They got a couple dancers now that could come in to do
But
that.
hold up,
The
Sean.
TikTok generation.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
what they
nobody
gonna
know
do. There you go, Shot.
Nah.
They gonna do a TikTok battle. They gonna do
He makes
a
those
whole
dances
house
up.
party of TikTok battle dumb dances.
It's gonna be
what's
You Got Served Part 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was thinking Chris Brown actually doing like the concert for the party, showing up and being like the live entertainment.
Yo, what concert?
It's gonna be something like that.
He gonna be.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be something like
Can't be having no concert.
No, she
Gonna be
thinking
at a hotel.
too.
See, like these kids,
That was a whole concert.
these kids have too much. That's the problem. These kids have too much. So there's no ingenuity. There's no creativity because they have everything they need at their disposal. Like
She said
ain't nobody,
ingenuity.
Yeah, she did.
ain't nobody fitting, their whole speaker DJ stuff into the backseat of a car. They're just like, all right, we're gonna put my iTunes on shuffle. Like nobody gotta go bail their friend out of jail. It's not the same.
Yo, I mean the dope part about it because nobody has turntables, so it's just everybody sending their music from their phone to the speaker.
Right.
So whoever connected to Bluetooth, that's who rocking out today.
Right.
And then
Cassidy
gonna be the
DJ
DJ.
Cassidy up there doing this. That's all he do is do this. DJ Cassidy in the place to be. That's who's gonna be in it.
So does bullying still exist in person? Does that still even occur?
Huh?
Does bullying still occur in person? Or is that all over the phone? Instagram, Facebook.
They're gonna be bullying over the phone and have a house party.
Did you see her moves?
It's virtual. COVID, it's a virtual house party.
It's gonna be a Zoom party.
Oh man.
That's a mess.
All
right. So we done had the bubble bath with the babies, and now you got actually
Baby, whose real name is Jonathan Lindale Kirk, is getting canceled by Twitter right now after he made homophobic remarks as well as bringing controversial rapper Tory Lanez on stage. If you remember, Tory was all over the news after it was alleged that he had shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot following a disagreement. In the video, DaBaby says to the audience that he will give someone $1 million if they can guess who it is that he brought onto the stage. Tory is on stage in what looks like a giant bobblehead costume, and as he gets revealed, the audience was not impressed to say the least. Probably because Megan Thee Stallion had just performed her set right before this, so it was in pretty bad taste. The audience also made sure to make it very clear that they were not amused by this surprise performer. As the two were performing together, a fan in the audience took off their shoe and whipped it at DaBaby. At the end of his performance, he said, "If you didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly STDs that'll make you die in 2 to 3 weeks, then put your cell phone lighter up. Ladies, if your coochie smells like water, put your cell phone lighter up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking D in the parking lot, put your cell phone lighter up." In response to that, people called for his cancellation. cancellation, like this one Twitter user who said, DaBaby and Tory Lanez can be canceled to hell and back, but until these cis hetero male dudes stop listening to them, there will never be actual growth. Ew, the DaBaby can be canceled now, thank you. With even a verified account saying, supporting DaBaby or T.I. says a lot about y'all. I tell fans to put a cell phone light in the air and y'all start a million-man march. I told you y'all digested that wrong, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm impressed. Now show this same amount of support when a racist cop killed one of our black asses. You're not. Adding, anybody who done ever been affected by AIDS, HIV, y'all got the right to be upset. What I said was insensitive even though I have no intentions on offending anybody, so my apologies. But the LGBT community, I ain't tripping on y'all. Do you? Y'all business is y'all business.
I'm gonna turn it over to the panel. I got my thoughts on it. DaBaby's funny to me, but I ain't gonna.
First of all, I don't know little baby, like I don't even I don't know the difference. I'm at that age.
There's one, it's two different ones. One
There's two.
in North Carolina.
Wait, DaBaby is from Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And little baby
know
is
a
the
little
one
something.
who was at the White House. He does a lot of like he's considered the best rapper right now. But as far as DaBaby's comments, let me just touch on it real quick. I think at a concert where a celebrity is under the influence doing what they do, because I'm gonna say this, don't take him, don't cancel him because he said something about the LGBTQ or whatever. I know I ain't say it right, but you'll ride with him when he talks about shooting and killing black people. You know what I mean? So if don't hold the hypocrisy for one group, if you want equality and fairness the whole way around. That's all I'm gonna say on it. Like don't praise him and have him on all your billboards and all your concerts across the world. But as soon as he says something about somebody, one part of it, you're offended. Like, come on. Don't that's all I'm gonna say.
Who wanna go next?
I'll just say that I'm just sitting here thinking and pondering on this. It's like someone needed to like provide some mentorship to Baby before he went out there. Like, come on, like you've been given this opportunity and this platform to be able to go out there and show the world your music, right? Use your platform in a positive manner. I understand all of your lyrics are not 100% positive. Some of that stuff is really negative. But for you to say offensive things like that, someone should have said, hey, I think you had too much to drink. Maybe you shouldn't smoke that or whatever you're doing. Maybe you shouldn't do that before you go on stage so that you can have a clear mind, so that you're able to articulate what it is that you really want to say. Because I think he was just saying some crazy stuff that he made up off the top of his head, thinking that he's getting everybody hyped, but he wasn't. Like, he sounded really stupid. He sounded very ignorant. And now he's out there apologizing for something that he said at a concert, which is dumb. Like, who the fuck died from HIV in 2 to 3 weeks? Like, come on, baby. What the fuck school did you go to? Okay, let me calm down.
I think.
Oh, Shad.
Well, and I think.
Hold up.
Seriously,
he said, I don't think Eazy-E died that fast.
What?
Yo, he's going to hell.
Yo, because Eazy-E like found out he had AIDS and was dead like the next month. That was like the only person that I ever. Dude was cool for a week, and then I mean, it is what it is. It happened.
Well,
shit.
And
we here.
I think too, like this is the thing, and I think some of the of course, yeah, we know there was going to be outrage about the comments towards the LGBTQ plus community. I just say plus because this other stuff I always forget. But I think some of it too is also the sensitivity to, and there's sensitivity to the AIDS, HIV, the 80s, and for especially for like somebody like Elton John, who went through that in the 80s and probably lost a lot of people. So when you get into that older age group, like they're really sensitive about it because, like they lost people to it because it was A, we don't know how to treat this or deal with this. B, governments were horrible to people about it. And so it's like, listen, we made it through. Just don't be ignorant about it.
Right.
That's how I see it.
All right, I'm taking it on the level of.
Why y'all so quiet on this?
Right.
I'm taking
Because
it.
I think it's some
Look,
BS. I really do. Like he was drunk or high or something, and he wasn't thinking. Like,
I'm
and then
letting y'all
everybody's
go.
holding him accountable for that bull. That's dumb.
My
I mean, it
thing
probably is
is,
his real thoughts and feelings that he let out inappropriately. But then again, you got to think about his age, his lack of mentorship, his
Yeah, if he's
influence,
under
his
the
mindset.
influence, yeah,
Like,
all that. I
if he's
feel
under
like
the influence, a drunk mind makes it sober hard.
he
that's true.
What you saying, Vaughn?
I feel like he was not prepared for the show. They booed him because he had a weak show. He had a weak follow up, and it touched a nerve on him to where he just wanted to lash out at everybody to make them feel like how he felt right at that time. So I'm saying you need to step your performance up. If somebody coming, like I watched the thing with Jay-Z was talking about following, coming behind DMX, and how DMX just had the whole stadium like under control, and then he had to follow it up. So he said, I had to step my game up. So now I'm diving out of stands. I'm coming up through the floor, like I'm doing everything extra because I got to follow behind DMX, like killing this whole stadium. The baby just needed to step his performance up. So now just popping out of a bag is not going to get nobody's attention. So you need to go to the next level.
See, my thing, what it is though, like, yo, you're saying it's all right to talk about how many times you killed this dude over and over and over again, and you'll pop the next dude, blah, 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 blah. He didn't make a song about it. He made a comment while he was walking at a concert that if there wasn't any footage, it wouldn't even be known. But they'll play over and over on his song over the radio about him talking about killing these dudes. But he just said whatever. And I get everybody's semi-sensitive about AIDS, HIV, and we get it because we grew up knowing that era and that horrified people. But that's hypocrisy to try to say, yo, well, fine, we just ain't gonna do none of this no more. We in a whole Black Lives Matter movement moment, and yet you'll still let him talk about killing niggas. You know what I'm saying? But then yet, as soon as he says something out his mouth about, man, if you die from AIDS in 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Like, you still here or you ain't. But see, his age group also knows that a lot of these dudes do go both ways. That's why he said the comment. You know what I mean? So there's some truth into it. That's why some people are sensitive and hurt about it. Not the AIDS 2 weeks thing, but you know what I mean? Like, we had downloads, all types of things for years. You know what I'm saying? So some parts about it might have affected some people. So we can't beat him up over something that we just didn't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'll let him say some crazy stuff, and that's my thing on it. So like, you can't just want to cancel him out because of that simple shit when there's all types of worse shit going on.
So here's oh Lord Jesus, here's my thing. Like I said to y'all in the text messages, if my dog shits in the house, it's my fault. So regardless of how well I train him, if I don't let him go out to the bathroom and he shits in the house, that's on me. If I leave my dog out and I leave trash in the kitchen and he goes in the trash bag and tears up the trash, that's my fault. At some point, you have to stop signing people and giving them platforms when they really ain't talking about shit. He's trash. He's trash underneath Dipset. Like, there's no reason this dude should have a fucking contract. Seriously, he's trash. When you don't have content and you don't have anything that you can actually rap about that makes sense to anyone, the moment that you hit a dead spot, you're gonna go for whatever you think you can go for. And that's what he did. No one actually says publicly to anyone, like,
but see, there you
if
go,
you
publicly.
got AIDS. Nah, I'm saying, because a lot of people say a lot of stuff privately, and that's where you get checked at. And it's like, yo, don't ever say that shit in public.
Yeah.
But like, to go out and be like, if you don't got AIDS, put a light up. Like, what the fuck?
Who does that?
If you did have AIDS, you're gonna put your light up like, you ain't talking about me.
Well,
but
they do got AIDS commercials for, like, yo, because they got commercials for medicine.
And that's what I'm saying.
If you got HIV, it's not even dormant no more. So they telling people to go have sex.
But they telling people not to wear a mask with COVID. It's the same fucking thing. Like, if you're gonna go do it and be reckless, die. That's pretty much the message right now. If you're gonna be reckless and do it, you die. Period. So it's like, to be insensitive to whoever you're being insensitive to. When you have a platform, you have to make different decisions. And when you give people platforms and you don't give them the responsibility of that platform, they're going to make dumb decisions. It doesn't matter. It's not just going to stop with him. It's going to go across the board. Like I said, he brought Tory Lanez out after Megan Thee Stallion. After last year, you shot the woman in the foot. Like, you shot her in the foot last year, and then you bring that dude that assaulted your previous performer on stage with you and say, "I'm gonna pay you if you can guess who this is." Knowing you're not gonna buy $1 million, but it's just a simple fact that now you're gloating in her face, and that's supposed to be your friend. And this is the dude that shot her, knowing all that went off. It's ridiculous. As far as like the gay thing, gay people don't give a shit. Like, most people who look at him like a dirty nigga anyway. So it's just, you that dirty, dusty young bull who had money to go into a studio. You made an album, and yet they need to stop giving these muckers platforms just because you got money to go into a studio and you got money to pay a DJ. He's trash. He's trash. Dipset's trash. Trash.
We'll visit.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I like Dipset.
How you really feel?
Hold up.
They trash.
He hold on, before we go cut that off before you go, because he hates Jim Jones so crazy. But we'll revisit that on next week's episode after the verses. We'll visit that. We got to get into the subject matter.
LOX.
So we know Von's also a super LOX fan, so we didn't go get into that. So that's why y'all can't even live in the same house, because y'all on both ends of the other ends of the spectrum. Like, no, y'all actually on the same side. But let's get into the base.
I'm Locks fan either.
Yeah, I'm about to say no, we're not.
That's right. He's outcast. He's outcast the whole day. But
yeah, listening to those dudes, they got a whole. He got 37 punchlines in a song. Ain't nobody trying to hear that with no damn Jadakiss.
But the story everyone is talking about is gymnastics superstar Simone Biles, who has brought the issue of mental health to the forefront of the Games. CBS's Jamie Yukas is in Tokyo.
It was the second time in 2 days Simone Biles pulled out of competition. She will be evaluated daily ahead of the individual finals next week, raising the specter of what's next in her storied Olympic career. The four-time Olympic gold medalist sidelined herself. She said to focus on her mental health, adding that competing in an empty stadium with no family was a major factor in her struggles.
We are trained to be robots.
Four-time Olympic medalist Dominique Dawes.
We don't listen to our inner voice. It's been muted. And I love the fact that she listened to herself and she did what was best for her mental health, as well as to ward off any possible injury.
Today, fellow Team USA athletes voiced strong support, like six-time Olympic champion Katie Ledecky.
I really hope that she continues to do what's best for her and that the people around her, the Team USA swimmers, certainly support her.
Ledecky put on her best performance, making Olympic history herself by taking the gold in the first ever women's 1,500-meter freestyle.
All right. So, ironically, I just got a notification on my phone from CNN saying Simone Biles withdraws from the vault and uneven bars finals, and she's being evaluated to determine if she'll compete in the balance beam and floor exercises. So now she went from 4 competitions that she was able to qualify for down to 2. I think as athletes, you are told basically, as we've all heard, to shut up and dribble. And that's basically what you're there for. You have people during the Black Lives Matter thing was like, your job is to play sports, not to have an opinion. So you're basically telling these people their entire careers to shut up and do what we want you to do. It's sports slavery is how I look at it. You just pay them a great amount of money with no backup plan. But when you get to a point, and I'm sure all these athletes have had a point where they snap. You have a Ron Artest snap moment. You have fights that happen on the court, off the court, situations with people with shotguns, Aaron Hernandez situations. Like, a lot of stuff happens off the court and off of the field. Even professional wrestling, you got wrestlers that commit suicide because of the stress. At what point do we stop just looking at them as athletes and entertainers and actually see them as human beings?
Now, like, this is the thing. I think what, like you said, it's always shut up and participate in whatever sport you participate in, do whatever you do. And I think what really the people who are very critical of her, there's an ownership that she has of wanting to do what she could do. And it's also the fact that you can't say anything bad about her because she's won all the awards. Like, what can you say about Simone Biles if she walked away? Like, you remember in Forrest Gump where he was just like, yo, I'm gonna just run across the country, and then he stopped, and that was it. And what could they say? Like, he literally just ran across the country. Like, it's one of those things where if she chose to walk away, that's fine. And one thing I appreciate is a lot of the other gymnasts coming out and saying she's doing something that we were unable to do, because when you look at the USA Gymnastics organization, we're also coming off the Larry Nassar situation. And along with that, it's come out that Marta and Bella Caroli, yes, they trained wonderful athletes, but you're also dealing with a bunch of athletes who have permanent injuries because, you know, it's like, keep going, keep going, keep going. And Simone Biles said she didn't get along with Marta Caroli because she's like, yo, I'm here having fun. I know I'm good. And one of the things she brought to the team was, hey, you can smile, you can have fun. And so, like, Carrie Strug and Mociano in particular, they came out and was like, listen, they showed videos where they were injured and they were like, I only did that because I was forced to. So good for her for having the agency to be able to say, this is what I'm going to do and y'all going to deal. And also, I think it's like when she started talking about the mental and saying, hey, I don't feel right. As a shot put thrower, I knew when I wasn't focused in the circle. You're going to step out of the circle. And if you've ever seen the front of a shot put circle, there's a metal piece that's about 3 inches high that if you trip over your feet, you're falling on your face and potentially having a shot put fall on the back of your head. Or if you're not paying attention, you put a shot put wrong, you disconnect your shoulder. So you understand and you know when you are not focused. You can't always do that in every sport, but she's in a situation where she can.
So let me touch on that a little bit, because I think part of the fascination with sports is the fact of the mental stability of being able to push through even when circumstances say like you shouldn't. For instance, she called herself the greatest, and I'm not disputing that she may have a mental health issue, but arguably considered the greatest boxer of all time, went through 10 times the things that she went through. Like when Ali called himself the greatest, he not only was fighting a physical opponent in the ring, he was fighting racism. He was also fighting against his own race when he decided to change from Christianity to Islam. Like he wasn't embraced, you know what I mean? And he was considered the greatest, and he still performed because, and I'm sure he had mental anguish with a lot of that, you know, like between his family, a lot of his friends, and he still pushed through.
But he got to go beat up people afterwards. He wasn't flipping over no damn balance beam.
Shot.
When you can go punch somebody in the face for calling you a nigger, it's very different.
Yo, shot. Yeah, but this person also can punch you in the face and can kill you as well. That's why they're
possibly. But I'm
right.
But
then
I'm gonna tag you a couple times.
Yeah, shot. But he was living in an era where he couldn't even go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like he had to sit. And then he lost his career in the prime of his career for the same thing. He lost his way of living during that time, where other people had to keep him afloat. And you think his mind?
But that's what I'm saying. But wait, hold up. No, because that's the same. That's mental.
And his mental stability was so tough that he still said, "Yo, I'm going to come back, and when y'all don't think I can beat Foreman because I've been out of this sport, I'm going to beat this person that nobody else could beat." And that's part of the reason that we're fascinated with sports, because you're greats, no matter when the chips are stacked against them, they still persevere. And part of being a great is the mental toughness. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of intrigues us, because sometimes we'll look at them like, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like you said, like a lot of us wouldn't have been able to do what Ali did. But to see him do it makes it fascinating, that much more of a grand thing.
But look what Ali did by staying in the game as long as he did. Like he stayed in the ring too long because he didn't have the ability to say enough is enough. And now you're in the ring getting your ass whooped. to the point where like you're having brain injuries. The same thing with Holyfield.
That's boxers.
Like I said,
they're fighters
that's what I'm
by
saying.
nature. But that's
so at a certain point you have to say this ain't. I'm done. Like Mo said, Forrest Gump was like, I'm done.
Yeah, but Forrest Gump's fictional. Ali, what he was fighting through,
Forrest Gump is real.
Yo, you let us say there. But with Ali, seriously, when you look at Ali, like most boxers, we're talking, Shad, 4 episodes ago, we're talking about all these boxers not letting go because they're fighters by nature. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what it is, their mental health, they like for what he did, none of them could do what he was doing.
Nah,
George Foreman.
I mean,
George Foreman's
it
talking
takes
about not standing up for black rights now. You know what I mean?
But,
and he was.
But
he
George
was
Foreman, he would never really stand up for black rights. Like
Exactly.
that's never been his. That's never been his thing. He's as black as Charles Barkley. Like it's just that's not for him. Like he's not that dude. But it's like at a certain point you have to say me or y'all. And it's not even just sports at that point. Like that's even in workplaces. People go to work stressed the fuck out and then come back at the post office with a gun. Like y'all done stressed me the fuck out. Somebody got to die. Like at a certain point, you got to say it's not worth it. And for her, it's not worth it is it's not worth it for me to risk all of y'all winning for me to be selfish and come out here and continue trying to do something that I feel like I can't do. Like I have a team. The team can win. I don't need to be here.
Well, one thing what people are leaving out is like she's also one of the reasons she said she did stay was because part of her being there is still holding USC gymnastics accountable for what Larry Nassar did for years.
Correct.
So
Correct.
And then also being that bridge between the previous girls and the new girls. So she's still that bridge. She's still there because part of that is again understanding her power and her influence. Because she's like, listen, as long as I'm here, y'all gonna keep doing this stuff. You're gonna do right. And so I think even though she didn't go to compete, but she's there for other reasons and she still has influence and she was able to step aside. And I can't remember the girl, is it Sunisa Lee that won? Like, she was able to step aside.
Yeah.
Somebody else was able to win. And I'm pretty sure for them, and even with them getting silver, they were like, listen, she did that for us because they may not have gotten a medal at all had she not stepped down. So no, it wasn't gold. Right. No, it wasn't gold. So I think overall it's still a win in that she didn't further injure herself. She's still a presence. She still has influence. And she's shown, and I think she has shown other athletes that they can, that hey, listen, if you got the juice, you can do it. Like you can, you know what? I'm taking care of myself first because again, she really has nothing else to prove. And one other thing I thought about too, we're a year behind as far as the Olympics. And so when you think about the training schedule and where you expect to be, and then you have to wait a whole year, where you can't even train at your regular facilities, a year where you still don't know if you're going to be able to go. They're dealing with COVID over there right now. A couple athletes had to back out. That's in the back of your mind. There are so many extenuating circumstances at play. So I say it's okay that she stepped away. She got nothing else to prove to nobody. She really like this. She's one of who else has 3 moves named after them?
But let me ask you this, Mo.
Moves.
On that thing, she stated beforehand how much pressure it was, how heavy the pressure was, right? One element that I think is also a little different for the current athlete as opposed to prior athletes is social media. Because where you want a lot of that, you put yourself out day to day, you know what I mean, week to week, whereas back then you only receive the information that the press give you. Now I get on my social media, if all 1 million followers tell you you're trash, that's going to bother you. Whereas back in the 90s or early 2000s, they put an article out, unless you see somebody to your face or in your stadium or your arena, you're not going to really know how much their people feel about you. And I think that's added to the stress and the, you know what I mean, anxiety, which also led to this, because she said that pressure was getting heavy. And I think also we got to look at these athletes for what they embrace with this social media aspect, because you're sitting there putting your personal business out. I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. So then when you do something, you say, oh, this pressure is heavy. When you say this pressure is heavy, you're also inviting it. Like we said with the baby just last time, he invited that. That's why he's sitting there saying half the crazy stuff he's saying, because he like, I want to apologize.
Trash.
Right. You know, but he can say whatever he wants to say. But you're with the social media, you're really inviting that too, not like before. So she was saying, she already acknowledged that the pressure was getting to her beforehand. You know what I mean? And that's the mind.
But I think it's more than just the pressure though, because like she was saying, like they were explaining like the tumbles syndrome that gymnastics or gymnasts and swimmers have.
Yeah.
So they were saying like at a certain point, you get to a place where you no longer can tell where you're at in the air. And she's saying that's basically what she's feeling. So could she continue to go and push through and do it anyway and possibly fail? Absolutely. But then your team loses because you're now trying to do something that your body's telling you can't do. So it's like if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, yo, I am not in the headspace to deal with people today, I keep my ass at home. Because if I go outside, I'm cussing somebody's boss out. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's better sometimes to just pull yourself out of situations that you know you can't handle that day. And for her, it's like the only person that loses anything in that situation is Simone Biles. Like she's the only person that loses anything. The rest of her team continues to compete. The Olympics goes on. It's like she just says, I'm going to withdraw myself and y'all go have fun.
Listen, I applaud Simone Biles for being able to stand up and say that. Her level of self-awareness, her display of empathy for her teammates, that stress that she's incurring right now, it's immense. And it resonates throughout her entire body. And she's able to articulate, listen, my mind is not where it should be. It's going to affect my body. She even posted recently a video of her training. I think it was either today or yesterday. And she wasn't landing properly. So she was like, definitely, I'm pulling out. And like you just said before we came on, she officially announced it. So I think that, like I said, I definitely applaud her for being able to man up and say, listen, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it.
We ain't let you go yet. You got to learn how to jump in.
That y'all go ahead and do that. But my thing is the mental.
Because you're like for real professional athlete. So.
And that's the part, the mental health behind it, from you silly Mo, from I say growing up, because it starts young. So like the preparation that you have to do to get yourself into the mindset to go perform. And like Mo said, like when you're off. Now you talking about, like, I played basketball, so if I'm off, I might miss a layup or miss a foul shot. Well, I missed a lot of foul shots.
Or 12.
Miss a layup, thing. Miss a rotation or whatever.
Hack-a-Micah.
This dude petty, yo. He petty, yo.
I mean, that's I know, high school, yeah. College, no. Semi-pro, you better not have. Like, I knew
you got
I had
better.
to improve on. But that part is the mental health that she has. She's not ready. Like, she knows when she's not ready. She knows when she's not ready. Like, there's certain things you could do to get yourself into the zone you gotta be. Now, you talking about she's flipping. If she misses that flip by 1 centimeter, it's like a broken leg.
I'ma break your neck, nigga.
It's stuff that like what she's doing.
Yeah, she's paralyzed.
She's an aerial acrobatic. Is what she does. So the stuff that she needs to be mentally there.
And it's not the same paths in competition that there is in practice.
It's not. It's nothing. So you got to land this. You got to make this now. Now, coming from the era that I played in, we never used the mental health as an excuse. We never used that, man, I'm just not right today. Like, it was always the push through. Okay, I'm not making no layups. I got to play heavy on defense. I got to get every rebound. I got to do something else to be effective within this game. That's how we was taught as athletes. Now, you do have the more of the, nah, I'm not doing this type, mindset. And I coach kids. They like,
let me ask you this, though, Vaughn. So you play basketball on all levels. You have boys who are hooping currently. Do you teach them your mindset, or do you teach them the mindset of current society? That's what I want to ask you. Like, because like you said, this is current. Now let's be honest.
It's current.
Do all that. Listen, because you said all that just now. But are you teaching them how you hooped, or are you teaching them their current way of hooping?
I teach them the way I hoop. I teach them to play like how I play.
Why?
I try to put that mindset into their basketball game.
Why?
They're not going to get 100% though. You said why?
Yeah. Why? I'm just saying because yeah.
No, because I feel again, I'm not far removed from the basketball game, and that's the hardest thing to be when you're trying to coach and train players, because your mindset is still on, yo, check me in real quick so I can go handle this real quick. And then, like, I'm still there. I'm still there mentally, and that's the hardest thing to get out of me right now, because I still
can't go in, coach.
I still can play. I'm still playing, like working out with them in practice and doing, so I'm not far removed from basketball.
I'm saying you coach Birdie.
Huh? Yeah, I'm
Coach
Tom
Birdie.
Shepard. Like I'm Tom Shepard out there with that. Like,
You want to coach and play.
But it's an extreme dynamic. But the dynamic with your boys is because they're yours. So you know what I mean? Like
no. This is what all my players that I coach.
Okay.
I'm putting in, like, I'm not trying to hear that you can't get that. Like, you can get it. It's right there. All you gotta do is put like fight to go get it.
But what about they say their body's not letting them feel that way? Like y'all just said.
You said like, mentally?
Yeah, mentally, I just don't have it in me today, coach. I know my body.
No, I'm going to not play you then. If you don't have it, if you come to me,
right? I was going to say you just get shut down in basketball.
If you out there and you're performing, like, hold up, I just can't. I'm not going to do this today. Like, it's not that you can't, but you decide that you're not going to do that. Then you're going to have to come sit down.
I don't think that's the same thing.
But no, but that's what
I think at certain points people have mental roadblocks at certain points. And certain points you really cannot wrap your mind around what it is you're trying to do. And your body's not doing what your mind is telling your body to do. So it's like when you sit on the toilet too long, you're going to stand up. You're not going to stand up immediately. Like you might stump. We've all been there.
That's just dead ass legs.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. But it's just put that same mindset. Like, say somebody has like a equilibrium problem, or what's that, like that air imbalance thing? Vertigo. So if you hit like a vertigo situation, if you hit a situation like that, it's not that you just don't want to function. You can't function. Like if you have anxiety, if you have horrible anxiety, you can't function.
I've had that.
Like I've had panic attacks that have literally laid me out on the couch and I could not move. And it's not that I didn't want to move. I was trying to get up and I could not move. Like my body would not respond.
So you feel like she just can't respond and do it?
I feel like the difficulty of what she is trying to do, if her body's not letting her do it, she can't do it. It's not a push through and just do it anyway.
That's just like you being hurt. If you cannot play, you hurt. Then you can't.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not just I'm stressed out. I don't feel like today.
But the thing is, what happens when you grow up playing sports, at some point somebody looked at that person like a kid and say, yeah, that kid gonna be nice. Mm-hmm. And now you start to develop this mindset of, man, I ain't got to worry about everything else that everyone else has to worry about, because this is my ticket right here. So now you start feeling that more and more out of yourself. So you start feeling that more and more within yourself. That becomes your mental as you growing up. So when you get to a certain point, like fans feel like you supposed to be able to push through this. You're supposed to be able to do this, but you're still human. Like Kyrie takes off how many personal mental health days during the basketball season, because he just at a point where he knows he can't what he can't do. Now you saying mental because you go to
some of that self-awareness comes with age.
But that's what I mean. It's weird though, because you get somebody like a Michael Phelps, who when his career is ending, he goes back and says, "This is the level of depression that I was at on these stages. I literally wanted to just swim to the bottom of the pool and breathe in water. But my coaches continued pushing me to. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like mentally you're fucked up, and people don't care. They just want you to provide what they need from you.
That's
and if you're fucked up after you're done, cool.
That's what happens
Right.
when you
They don't care. Right.
when you in the sport, you become so like you got to be assessed with the sport to become great. You have to.
But can we say this real quick? There is a different level for everyone of what they're capable of doing. Like, here's the thing, right? Like, we gotta be sincere and honest. Like one of the things, like, you know, they always compare Jordan to like LeBron. And when they brought up The Last Dance, and everybody was saying like he's a jerk, but his level of toughness didn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't matter. Like, some people just have a higher threshold of toughness and pain and what they're willing to go through than others. Can we admit that?
We can, but in the same breath, you have to say what Michael Jordan's vices were off of the court.
It don't matter.
So it does matter because
he was capable to perform at the top
he's still
level.
capable to perform. But if he's having an off day, Michael Jordan had off games.
Okay, but he performed.
So if you're having an off game, but what I'm saying, like,
he still was capable to perform, and he always came to perform. Like, he only missed, like, he didn't, she's gonna let him freestyle in there with the glasses, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta stop, man. Like, you just see, like, you know what I mean? Some people just have a higher toughness value, you know what I mean? That's the truth. Like AI, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just a tough dude. Like, and I'm not even taking it to the, because, you know, Jordan's the pinnacle. We always consider Jordan the pinnacle, but when you look at dudes that just built tough, Allen Iverson's nothing like him. Like you said,
Allen Iverson pulled a Simone Biles. This motherfucker said he wasn't going to practice.
No,
like, it's the same.
No,
hold on.
Let's clarify that though. His friend died, and they asked him, just like you said. Now that's a spot where he could talk about the mental health. He said, you're talking about my practice, and I'm dealing with the fact that my best friend just got killed. Ain't that a mental health thing?
Y'all ain't care about Sha'Carri Richardson last week. We was talking about her mom dying. Y'all said she should have went and did what she had to do.
No, she was smoking weed that cost her an opportunity that she only.
I'm sure Allen Iverson was smoking weed too.
Yeah, but he don't get tested for it. He was good. He still came out the hoop.
But all right. You know look at the downfall of his career.
Well, and that's the thing too. When you think about the other end of it, like, Simone Biles was able to say, you know what, I'm not going to further injure myself. I'm going to walk away. And also, like, if she would have won in and still did whatever and fucked up badly, then it would have been, man, she went out like a sucker. So she was like, you know what, I'm going out. I'm still up here. She didn't get that other end dip like some of the athletes in their prime, like Muhammad Ali, or like when Jordan came back and was playing for the Wizards. Like, there wasn't that dip post, like, towards the end of the career. So she went out on top.
Whenever you sit on the side, whenever you sit on the sidelines with ice packs on your knees, it's time to stop.
Well, no,
you're doing that for if you're doing that for 2 out of 4 quarters, you icing your knees down.
They do that.
You're done.
They do that when they're young.
He had nothing. He had nothing else to prove. He couldn't walk.
Here's the thing.
He couldn't walk.
Mo.
See, that's the athlete in you.
Nah, we know though, in the Olympics, even if you don't reach your pinnacle in the Olympics, but you gave it your all, they still give you a swan song. Stop that, Mo. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no damn swan song. But that's the okay. I think that's the problem. Wait. I think that's the issue. It's not that she was. It's not because, like, but she's not. She's not competing. It's not about her as an individual. This is the team competitions. So it's like if she messes up, the team loses. So instead of me making
it to be where they're at,
but instead of
be where they're at.
But they were able to sustain themselves because they have backups, and that's what backups are for. If you're an actor, there's a understudy. That's what they're there for, so that when you can't do it, someone can step in and do it for you. But so if you know I can't do this, I know I can't do this. If I try to attempt to do this and I'm failing horribly every time I flip, I can't find the floor correctly. I don't need to be the person doing this.
Listen to this. Now, the bug asked about the coaching portion. The coach knows his player. The coach knows how she is performing, as coaches would do. So when you're out there coaching, you can see like I can see, okay, yeah, you can do that. I'm going to let you keep going, keep trying to do it until you do it. Or, man, yeah, she's really not. Let me really sit down and talk to her and then put everything on the table to see what she's really feeling. You know, because what happens is like coaching is more than just telling the X and O's. You gotta trust me, and I gotta trust that you're gonna believe in me. That's the two parts of trust. I mean, of coaching. So if we sit down and talk, you have to. I mean, your players gonna tell you. Your players are gonna tell you if you sit there and say, be honest with me, they're gonna tell you exactly what's going on. And I feel like the coach talked to her, said, you know, what's going on, because you can see it. You can see it in practice.
You can see it in her face.
You see her practice now. Everything, her emotion, like you could be able to read your players and see what are they mentally ready or not if you pay attention to your players. So you could look at them. Oh yeah, he's ready.
I think something that works in her favor is her age too, because she is considered an older gymnast, and so she knows her body, because also with all of that. Right, with all of that on your body, all that pounding and and everything that she's putting on her body, you at this point you're hyper aware, because you also know age is not working in your favor, and also her age works in her favor in that she is able to say and is comfortable saying, I don't feel right. So even if, because when you think about gymnasts in the past who maybe got injured just because their coaches were like, go, 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 go. There's 16, 17-year-old girls who feel like they have no choice.
And what's the white girl that messed up her ankle on a vault exercise, and they made her do another flip? And she said her career ended on that last flip. Shrug. So they made her. They pushed her to make her go again.
And they would have won. And they were going to win regardless.
Now listen.
And they pushed her for that last flip. She messed up her ankle, and her career was shot.
Wasn't she also playing with a handicap though?
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Simone, didn't she have like a performance handicap put on her because of her like how good she was?
They scored her different because of how great she is. So basically she's on a different different scoring meter than everybody else. That's what I'm saying. So what do I have to prove to you?
So at the end of the day, like I come out here and perform, I still do like my normal. I could do my normal or a little under my normal, but you're gonna rate me as somebody that can't even be like basically somebody else that didn't make the Olympic team.
You're rating me. You're rating me on a level that is above everyone else because no one else can do what I do. Right. So because they can't do what I do, now my rating for doing this is beneath what it should be. So the difficulty of what I'm doing that none of these other girls out here can do, you're going to say it's not worth as much because I'm the only person that can do it. That's not my problem.
I mean, listen.
So it's like, so you hit that. You hit like the mental stuff. You hit like all the rest of the issues that she's having outside of gymnastics. And then you say, if I compete with you, we might lose because I can't finish this. And I'm trying, but it's not working. So you step in. Y'all can do this. I know y'all can do this. Finish your routines out. You take this spot that I'm dropping out of, and y'all just close out. I got my medals. The girl got 19 world medals and 4 Olympic gold medals that no one else has ever attained before. What does she have to prove by competing again? If she decides to step out completely right now,
kidney stones.
There's nothing else. I'm saying, they said she had kidney stones, got checked out of the hospital to go compete with kidney stones. Who does that? That's a coach and that's a team and a coach and an organization that does not care about your well-being. They want you to provide what they need you to provide. They need their medals. Period. Whatever happens to you getting the medal, get the damn medal. If you die, you die. What's dude's name that played for Loyola that had the heart murmur?
Nah, you good? Go play. Hank Gathers.
You good? Go play. You cool?
Do y'all care? Do y'all feel the same way about Naomi Osaka in the matter?
Absolutely.
Because she did compete. Like she pulled herself out of those competitions, but she competed in the Olympics.
She's at the Olympics, but she dropped out of Wimbledon and the
French Open, right?
Yeah.
But you know what that is too. But you know,
and that's a lot of that was racism as well.
Right. Well, and for me, like I know me, like I'm slightly introverted, so there are days where or weeks
Like if I know, for example, I have to take 2 work trips, I'm probably not going to go to many places on the weekend because this week is going to fuck me up. And so for Naomi Osaka, it's okay. Let me step out of these things. I'm going to compete in it. I'm going to be part of this competition that only comes around every 4 years, and I will step away from that. I'll come back to that later because that's always going to be there. But let me prepare for this.
And competing for Japan, which she can't do at any other time.
Right.
Right,
But-
and that's the other thing.
I'm saying, so it's like Serena, she dropped out when she was having postpartum depression after she gave birth. She dropped out. And when nobody's saying, oh, you soft because you dropping out. Who gonna call Serena soft? That's what I'm saying. It's like
I think it's more, when I look at it, you see she gets a lot of support from her fellow Olympic teammates.
Everybody's chiming in because they all agree.
Yeah.
But that's so
All
as,
like
as
it's
okay, yeah, if she's saying this, if she feel this way, oh, I see like you could, like I said again, you could tell where somebody's at just by looking at them. If you look at them, they look like happy-go-lucky normally, and now they just in their head. Yeah, you know what? She needs to sit down. And I think that's what like
They're
I said,
playing their game.
it was a before it came out. I think it was a team discussion. It was a her and the coach discussion, and they said, look, this would be the best thing for us, and that's where it came from because they, like I said, it goes back to that report. But like mentally, like you are taught to just go through every door. You taught to run the door over. Like if
that's
the
what
coach
they're
tell you to run the door, you're taught to do that. You're taught to just keep
but that's
running
what
through
they're
the door.
that's
Now
what they're
she's
saying
like,
that
I can't do that, and that's what a lot of players are leaning towards that nowadays. It's like I can't run through the door right now. I'm not there today, and
because
Because I'm not going to run through it. I'm going to hit it and fall.
No,
and that's the thing. That's part of that self-awareness.
So is it self-awareness? So are we calling it self-awareness and we're not calling it? So did we mislabel it for all these years as soft? Or is there a point where you can still consider somebody soft?
No, I think there's soft players as well. I think there are some people who are just soft players. I think that, I think for me, I feel like
He's just gonna start reading.
Like I feel like weird. I feel like there's people who are soft as athletes, but in the same breath, I think that there's a certain point that again you tell athletes to push through, keep going, keep doing what they're doing, like fight through it. Like Jordan playing with the flu, it should have never happened, and I think today they probably wouldn't let him do it. It's certain things that you can't do. Sam Bowie breaking his leg like every game he played. Like at a certain point, you got to stop. And I think that players are now, the fact that mental health is now being a public conversation and people aren't afraid to say they're dealing with these things is a big help because a lot of them dealt with it privately. And again, it turned to alcohol, drugs, fighting, violence, gun, whatever. So it's like if you now address it earlier on and you're saying if there's a mental issue, talk to us. They're actually talking. But it's like when you get to gymnastics, tennis, golf, like swimming, individual sports, there's also like a very high racism issue that's involved in there as well. So there's a lot going into it that we don't necessarily understand that they have to go through. And when it gets to a point and someone says, yo, I can't do this, my head's not in the right space, I'm not personally jumping off anything flat-footed if I don't feel right. To do like 4 flips and then add 3 twists into that and try to land on my feet, come on, bro. The first one I feel like I'm not going to do it, ain't going to happen. And I'll be the soft dude on the mat. It's not working today. I'm sorry, boss.
So we got to
sorry, boss. I'm tired, boss.
So we go start calling athletes. So at this time, we can stop calling athletes soft just because they, feel there's a mental health issue for them. Is that what we need to do? Like that's what is that what we're getting to?
Because but how much of sports is mental when you think about it, and not just like it. Right. It's literally like it's like because after a while it's muscle memory. B, it's So if like for me, if I ever got to a point where I was thinking about it, I knew it wasn't going to be good. If I wasn't just, whether it's basketball, if I wasn't just playing, hey, you call it play, it's automatic. Or when I go to throw a discus, if I'm doing my spin, if I'm like, ooh, I can't spin right now, I'm gonna just stand and throw. I knew it wasn't going to work because there was a block somewhere. And so when you get into the mental aspect of it, like you said, 95% of it is mental. And so it's, I think when people think about mental health is, oh my God, I'm depressed, it's something clinical and some type of diagnosis. It's literally part of your functioning. And as an athlete, especially on that level, when you've been training your whole life, if I can't do a basic somersault and I'm a gymnast, or if I can't do a somersault right because for whatever reason during my warm up something's not right, yeah, I'm gonna take a step back.
You know, playing when I played my last semi-pro basketball game, we was in New Jersey playing the team, and y'all know my game. I used to, you know, dunk on people's head like it wasn't nothing. You know, that's just what I did. I caught the ball on the baseline. I took one dribble and went up to dunk the ball. Now I got fouled, and I stopped. I did not try to push through the foul or anything to try to dunk on this player. I stopped. He didn't have the ball, and nothing happened. I'm at the rim, and instead of trying to dunk the ball, I just came back down with the ball. And now at that point of time, again, I know my mental is gone now. I'm not that player no more. So that was my last game playing semi-pro basketball.
So was that about desire, or was that just about your mental? Like you just mentally wasn't. So are you saying that you wasn't there no more, or were you
were supposed to dunk and you didn't dunk? You brought the ball back down. You was like, "Yep, I'm finished."
Yeah.
So your desire and your
not
mental
doing
health
something that was routine for him.
It's my mental health. It's just because, like Mo said, it's muscle memory. I don't gotta think that I'm about to dunk the ball. I know when I take this step, I'm about to dunk the ball. So it's not a thought process no more. It's second nature. I'm going to catch the ball in this spot. Okay, there go the rim. I'm going to the rim. Now that's second nature.
So now playing devil's advocate, age. How much does age play in that decision that you're doing in that?
I was 31.
Right. I'm just saying because we're saying with her, like she is considered an older gymnast,
right?
For her thing. So age.
She started at 6.
Right. No. All right. But
no. But he's saying for her being 24.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Over about 22, 23.
That's what I'm saying. She started her.
Anyway.
That's what I'm saying. She started her gymnast career at 6.
So you know that I wouldn't say
and that's late compared to some of them kids.
I wouldn't say age played a part in it. Honestly, for me, for her, I can see that. For me, I was pretty much on the downside, playing anyway. I can't even say that. Like I wasn't at no 26, 27, 28. Once you hit that 28, 29, 30, you know, people's careers stop at that age anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, but like muscle memory is the thing that would have taught me to keep going through this and dunk on somebody. I done did the thing thousands of times already. It's second nature to do this. And
so at that moment, did you decide that you no longer play? Was that the last game you played, or did you play it out?
No, I finished that game out, and then that was it. I didn't play the rest of the season.
Did you have more games after that?
Yeah, it was like four more seasons in the playoffs after that.
Damn. And what happened? And you know what I mean? Just curious.
The team?
Yeah. What was their thoughts on it?
Who's happy? Who's happy when you leave? Like you taking 30 points and 17 boards a game. Shut up, Shot. Like who? But as a teammate, if you're like your player leaves and it's done, like they're never going to be happy. But I'm playing with a bunch of I think the oldest person after me, I was 31. The next oldest person was like 25. So I'm out there still performing 6 years past everybody. I'm talking about in the league. Right. 25 was the next age up. I was the oldest person in the league at that time.
So you said, yo, I'm done. Y'all got this. I know y'all can do it. Go out there and play and win.
Right.
So that's what Simone Biles.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I understand where
right. That's where I was going.
When it happens. When you literally can't do what you normally could do, You can't keep out like it's going to hurt. You're going to hurt yourself at some point. Something's going to happen to where you're going to hurt yourself. Because if you can't, if your muscle memory stops, now what? Like you know what I mean? It stops on all aspects of the game. It's not just going to be just one part. Like her running time, her timing running is going to be off. So it's not.
For instance,
like jump off of everything. Everything's going to be off. From that one little thing off, everything could turn be off.
Tiger Woods is still playing golf. Has to have a spine surgery. If he twists his body the wrong way, he can be paralyzed. There's absolutely, again, nothing for Tiger Woods to prove.
For him,
but they're saying,
he still has his mindset is still competitive, where he still wants to accomplish something.
But I feel like that is a weakness at that point because you don't know when to stop. And at a certain point, like it's either you have to win this game or you don't have a quality of life anymore.
Well, that's part of the thing with him.
What does he have to fill in?
Right. He never had anything other than that.
He can drive Buicks.
Once his pop died, they said that's when he really lost a lot of his soul. You know what I mean? Like anything that he really, they said once his dad died, he really lost a lot of direction. So that might be his only sanctuary. You know what I mean?
I think it's important for athletes and non-athletes to know when their cutoff spots are and being able to say that I'm not mentally there. Because it's something that, especially as Black people, we're taught to push through everything. And regardless of what it is, like you can do this, just keep pushing through it. And it's not a healthy mindset because it's something that sometimes you need to step out of situations and step off of things and say, I need to worry about me more than your bottom line and what it is that you need. Like I've quit jobs because like the stress level at a job wasn't worth my time. And I'm the dude that will like walk out for lunch break and not come back.
Horrible. You ain't even wait the lunch break. You like, hey, you know what? This is not the job for me.
This ain't it. This ain't it. You're not about to stress me out for this shit. I'm good.
Wasting other time anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Here go your
especially
bag.
My age now, because you're not wasting 3 minutes of my life at this point. It's not happening. Nah, I'm good.
But that's what I'm saying. But I just think she did a good, like the move she did, or you know, her decision, the team's decision. I'm not gonna say her. Everyone puts it on her. I really feel it was a team decision.
No, it was her decision. She went to her coach and said that she was done.
But, I mean, but the coach the coach set her down, talked to her.
You can't say no. Huh? I mean, I think that's the thing. At her age, you're not telling her, and that's basically what she's saying. Like she was able to go to them and say, "I'm not doing this because my mind's not in it," and there wasn't anybody that could force her to continue going. Because if they would have. Like if they had the ability to do that.
I think that they still try to force her to make her go.
You're not going to force her. You're not going to force her. And that's what I'm saying. That's the conversation. Like she basically said, like I'm not doing this. Right. And they're
can get hurt.
And that's what
she can literally put herself out there.
And that's what all the other gymnasts was saying. It's like if you went to them and said that, like, I don't feel like my head's in the right place, they pushed them into the competitions anyway, and they weren't able to push her into it. You're literally the top gymnast in the world. Who's going to tell you have to go do something?
That's not cool.
At 26, kiss my ass.
I can't measure your pain. Like I can't measure your pain. Like you know. So if you say you hurt, then you're hurt. I have to go off of what you saying. If you saying you can't do this, I have to go off of what you said. I can't measure your pain or your ability right now. If you saying that I'm mentally not here right now, then you're mentally not there.
I think it's getting to a point where like athletics period are starting to realize that their athletes also have mental health issues as well, and it needs to be addressed. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they're making them address it is a big deal.
Well, the problem is we're acting as if mental health, like mental isn't a part of the physical. And once you start realizing that all coincides with each other, you know, like I said, some people are just tougher than other people. Like you said, your pain threshold is about your psyche.
Yeah, God didn't like that answer.
You silly.
God was like, nah, we're not doing that.
No, that's
true.
real though.
It's true.
That's real though.
we are at a point though where people are able, and I think just in general mental health, because before,
It's gonna kick me off and shit.
you know, 50 years ago, you'd be like, 50 years ago, you're like, oh my God, I had a panic attack. They lock you up for the rest of your life. And now
Rest
it's
of
like,
your
okay,
life.
you need to take a step back. You know, you need to, if you need to get medicated, you need to get counseling. You need healthy ways to cope. And I think that is just, it's just trickling into every aspect of everyday life for everybody.
That's like them old head football players tell you, like, you soft bastards. We play football with leather helmets on cement. Like, okay, because y'all was
We
dumb.
died
Y'all
and
ain't have
came
no
back to life.
resource.
Like
That ain't our problem. So it's just,
Right.
I think it's just it's a level of
And that's the other thing.
acknowledgement.
I can't get with the, well, because we suffered, so you should. And I'm like, nah, that's part of evolution. We should do better. Like, we should evolve.
Yeah, motherfuckers are getting concussions. Maybe we should put helmets on. Like, y'all out here dying. You should probably put on a neck guard because y'all breaking necks out here for the last 22 years.
Cool.
Maybe you should put a mouthpiece in because niggas have lost their teeth.
Your piss
You're probably gonna
orange.
pass out. Yeah,
Like
you probably should.
drink. Right. You can't not drink water. Like, you should hydrate. Then you won't.
Maybe
be
black
at
people
night.
should put on sunblock.
Y'all crazy.
Like, it's little
That's
things.
a controversial
You figure out as you go.
statement, sir.
Hey, it's little things. You can't put baby oil on and go sit in the sun. You gonna cook.
Why you trying? People be trying to fry? What?
I'm just saying.
Well,
out here smelling like KFC. Go ahead, Bob.
It's that. Y'all, we've been on for 2 hours. Y'all did an excellent job.
Oh man, we have.
Yeah, it's that time. Like, when you have great conversation.
The replacements.
You know, I mean, y'all family, so it's not even replacements. You know what I mean? That's why the transition.
Don't try to make it seem nice for them.
Yo, I gotta sleep with one of these people, so I'm not even gonna say that.
I don't.
You know what I mean? She like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna go, and she go kick me anyway. So she sleeps in the middle of the bed because that's what they do. Anyway, like we appreciate y'all. Hopefully, y'all be back on again. We know Vaughn will because this is like his. You know what I mean? Like his second time.
Oh yeah, I'm like the Jada Kiss of this, man. You know,
listen,
27 punchlines in a 30-bar song.
Yo, Vaughn, next week is the thing, so you know we definitely got that time. But
I could just bring me in because I'm definitely gonna sit there and gloat about what the do this. It's Thursday. I mean Tuesday, right?
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, the
at Madison Square Garden.
On Tuesday, 20-0. Man, come on! Like, are y'all really sitting there to tell me that Horse and Carriage is going to sit there and do something over top of any lock song?
Mamacita.
Yo, Dipset Anthems go.
Horse and Carriage.
Don't front Dipset Anthems, my joint.
Okay,
but Dipset Anthem is going to go crazy again because they're in New York. Like that's just it's going to happen.
And he's going to do. And when Jim Jones does "We Fly High," because when he does balling, it's going to erupt.
Now, everybody going to stay balling. And then ain't nobody gonna know none of the words after that.
But see, the locks will go cheap because I realized something last night. They go do the dedication song. They go do 24 Hours to Live and get people on their feet because Black Rob and DMX died 2 weeks apart. I mean, a week apart from each other, and send it into a frenzy. Then they go do All About the Benjamins where Puffy and Little Kim come out. That's where they go cheap. Watch it.
I don't think Kiss want Puffy out there, but I mean, it's Madison Square Garden, so Puff going. They publicly cool.
Oh, that's public.
That's publicly cool.
But what I'm saying is, like, when you saying they put those songs on, it's
they all gonna bring Mariah out and do Honey.
It's all about the counter. So when you put that on, nothing's being played from the first locks. It's gonna be all Trinity Jones, all.
You gotta do Money, Power, Respect.
Huh?
You just ain't gonna have X. You gotta have Money, Power, Respect. You gonna have Little Kim. That's why I said Little Kim have to be there. You gotta have Money, Power, Respect because Money, Power, Respect is that. You know what I mean? Like you just won't have X. And X 20 kills that joint.
20 songs. I do not see Dipset winning not one. Like
that's because you're a super fan of one side. Right. That's the same way. There was a very long time that you thought No Limit was the best record label in the world, and you bought all the No Limit albums. You were that dude.
No, I was not down with No Limit.
You bought Snoop's No Limit album.
I did.
You did. That's a sign. You had True. You had all the Master P's. You bought Silk the Sock Shocker and thought he was dope.
For the record, Von's the one that introduced me to Joe Button. I'll never forget it. You know what I mean? Heard him rhyme on one song, the other two songs he was singing. I was like, who the hell is this dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was before Pump It
But
Up.
you have
That
to
was the
admit,
Button mixtape.
yeah, that mixtape was fire.
It was okay. Look, Von, you know I still stand by
yeah.
to this day. That
That
was
song,
okay.
you picked the worst song on there to go
I'm
ahead.
saying you played it for us. Look, you played it for us. Like, I didn't hear you say, yo, check these Jones out. We was like, oh, but again, we appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all be back on. How did you we go close this out real quick and we'll talk behind the scenes like we always do. If you're still watching on Facebook, share this, watch this. Make sure you let people see it. If you're
Some of y'all, all y'all don't share because there's some comments in here that I don't.
Y'all crazy. Share. I don't care. Love, hate. We need it all. If you
I don't want that
YouTube,
one.
if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Check us out next week. We out. You want to say bye, Mo? Nina?
Bye.
You say anything?
Thanks
Shah
for
go
having me.
close us out, then we go be on that thing. So
we're doing the prayer.
Nah,
This was dope.
prayer.
No, we're not doing no prayer, man. This was dope, y'all. Get
out.
He closed
y'all
us
mental
out
health in check.
For the live though, Von. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right, got you.
But we stay on after that. You can't be telling our
Benediction.
secrets. Look, you gotta be telling our secrets on
You
air.
got to do the bubble bath books. So you know what I mean. What you got to do is make sure that you take care of yourself and everybody else, because you are the most important person in this world. If you're not here, you can't benefit anyone else. That's why they tell you when you're on the airplane to put your air mask on before everyone else, because you can't help nobody else if you're at a default.
Why is he petty like that?
That's terrible.